Today we have a different kind of video, as the title suggests. What is this new auto debit rule? What are the emails that every bank is sending you? What is happening? What is changing from 1st October that you need to be aware of, or whether you should be worried about it, or how it impacts you? So without much ado, let's get started. I will show you an email that I have received as well. I've received multiple of them, but it's just one example to tell you, to guide you through as to what is changing first. What's happening, what are the banks informing you about. So have a look here. This is the video that shows you an email which I have received from Citibank, which is my bank. I own a credit card from them. And it says important update on standing instructions with merchants on your Citi credit card, right? So what does it say? That if you have, this is an important update with reference to your standing instructions with merchants for recurring payments on your Citi credit card. Just to be clear, I don't have any standing instructions on Citi credit card. So, but even if you don't have, they will send you for any of your debit and credit cards. All your banks will send you something like this. Then they are telling you what has been changing, the guidelines. So from October 1st, 2021, the guidelines on recurring payments issued by, of course, RBI will come into effect to enhance the safety of the transactions and provide you with more control. The required changes are, they are, putting it here, that merchants will now need to present new recurring payment as per the revised guidelines, and you will be updated via SMS or email communication on successful registration of your new recurring instructions. So of course, for existing ones, that's what we are looking at. The existing registrations will be declined if they are not in compliance with the new guidelines, and you will be communicated about the declined transaction via SMS, email. As a result of this change, Citi will process only those recurring transactions which comply with the instructions. And if you have an existing recurring instruction with a merchant, then you will need to either make one-time payment at the merchant app or websites, or register a new recurring instruction in compliance with the new guidelines. So what will happen? The thing is, you've heard of all these websites getting hacked, and a lot of customer data, financial data, which is credit and debit cards, being sold out on the dark web. This happens because every time we shop online on an app or on a website like Myntra, Flipkart, Amazon, whatever, they save our credit card information or debit card information that we use for checkout, that we use for transactions on these websites or apps. So what they do is, it is sold as a convenience factor that, hey, you know what, we'll save your credit card details or debit card details, so you don't have to enter it every time. You don't have to remember, you don't have to grab your card and put those numbers, 16-digit numbers, and, expiry date. You just have to put in your CVV, that is the 3-digit number on the back of the card. And yeah, you get an OTP, you approve the transaction, that's it. So it becomes easier for you. You can check out. And then if we save cards, we can give you offers on those cards. So if you go on Amazon, you do bill pay, Amazon Pay, it does this automatically, that if there is a particular card, say Citibank, which gives you 10% off on bill payments. So every month they have offer that if you pay 500 rupees of bills, or you recharge worth 500 rupees, your DTH, mobile, whatever, you get 50 rupees instant cashback. So you just pay 450. So when you do that, when you try and select payment or a recharge, Amazon will find that, you have a Citibank credit card saved. They will select that automatically and, want you to use that as the preferred payment for this particular payment or recharge. So that's a good thing. Amazon does that. So sometimes they say, it's just convenience. We will tell you if you have certain offers on this card, so you can save the card. But that also leads to hacks where your credit card or debit card information can be sold on dark web and it can be misused. Somebody else does transactions. So this is a good measure from, of course, RBI, where they want you to have safe online transactions. And this was issued way back. So this also, so I'm now going to show you when this happened. So again, if you look at your screen here, you'll find that this is an RBI official announcement, or it is taken from the RBI website. What they're saying there is, this is what do you say, announcement or directive issued by RBI on December 4th, 2020. So it's already a year old, where they have the same processing of e-mandates for recurring transactions. So if you, now again, of course, I missed this part, but I will make it clear that what is a recurring transaction? What is, bill payments? If you have electricity bill payment, if you have mobile recharge or mobile bill payment, postpaid, you would put it as a recurring payment on your credit card, debit card, but most people would also do it on your net banking. So again, this is for absolute clarity that this new change only applies to your debit and credit card transactions. It is not for net banking, and it is for any amount. So earlier it was like less than 5,000 rupees. No, it is for any amount. It could be less than 5,000, more than 5,000. But the change is now every time your transaction is due, say it is due tomorrow, one day before. So today you will get a text and an email on your registered email with the bank for debit or credit card saying that this transaction is due tomorrow. It will be deducted. And you have to authorize maybe with an OTP or something, maybe click yes or something. So that's the new method. So even if you forget, and it could be Amazon Prime, you have a auto recharge, so your Prime membership gets recharged, or Disney Plus, Hotstar, whatever, an OTT platform. So it could be a lot of different ways. It could be bill payments, it could be OTT recharges that you have a yearly or whatever, monthly, weekly plan. So whatever is a recurring payment which would happen at any term, monthly, yearly, 6 months, whatever, you will have an option to approve. You will have an option to get notified via email and SMS a day in advance, and then only it will go through. So that's a good change. I mean, that's just, if people completely forget that, tomorrow I have a due date of something, some amount is going to get deducted, they will have one day in advance. So now again, if you look at the RBI circular, this was again December 4th, 2020. There are 3 points in there, right? So this is about e-mandates for recurring transactions. Actually, there are 4 points. So, which is funny, but it just says 2, 3, 4. Okay. So based on the request received and given the sufficient protection available to consumers, it was announced that statement of the blah, 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 AFA relaxation of 5,000. So that is the, what they're talking in point number 2 is the relaxation offered to, for NFC payments, the tap to pay payments, which was made AFA. Yeah. That's the authorization of financial something AFA. I'm forgetting, but yes, it is. So yeah. So this was additional factor authentication. Yes, AFA, which was relaxation in AFA. So it was, when you use the tap to pay option on your cards, debit or credit, it was earlier on only 2,000 rupees. Then it was enhanced to 5,000 rupees, which was on 1st of January 2021. Now it comes to recurring transactions, which is whether it's domestic or international, using cards, PPA, UPI, whatever, with the increased transaction. Yeah, okay. The directive issued. So yes, so this is about the increased limit. The first one, e-mandates, and the second one that you will see now on your screen. So this is about the change that they want to be implemented from 1st of October. So you see here that tokenize. Okay, yes. So now you'll see, okay, the e-mandates will not work. What will happen? And of course, the RBI has banned all of these apps of any third-party provider to save your card details online with them on file. So, I mean, if they can't save it, there's no question of getting it leaked. And, it just means you are safe. So how will you still be able to do transactions without entering it every time? There is a term called tokenization. Now, tokenization is where a card, to explain it simply, I will have another video where it is all about tokenization and NFC payments. So that's coming really soon. Tokenization in the simplest format is, I would actually put you through tokenization definition from Wikipedia or whatever in that video. So look out for that one. But tokenization in its, simplest form is you have a card with a 16-digit number on it, and your expiry date and valid through date sometimes, or in the CVV. So that actual information is never given out. When a card is tokenized, you have an exact replica of it with a 16-digit random number generated, and that's what used. So this is done already on mobile phones and tablets when you use Google Pay or Samsung Pay or Apple Pay, which is not available yet in India. What they do is when you add a card on that payment wallet payment thing, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, they actually generate a random 16-digit number of your card, Citibank, HDFC, SBI, whatever card. So your actual card details are never stored for them, and it is, you can still make payments. So that's a very secure method of payment, and that's now expanded to even laptops, wearables, so watches, whatever, desktops, everything. So instead of saving your card now with them on file, they will use tokenization. All these third-party providers will use tokenization, and they will still be able to make your transactions really quick and fast, because you won't have to enter all the details again. This tokenization part, which is for your safety, for security, was first implemented on 31st of March, but the banks were not ready, the financial organizations, everyone, the apps, the Amazons, Flipkarts were not ready for it. So the RBI delayed it for 6 months, and it is now getting implemented on 1st of October. So that's the whole gist of it. Do you have to make any changes on your end? No. Do you have to worry if you don't have any recurring transactions on your debit or credit card? No. Then nothing changes for you. But if you have, like I have one for YouTube Music, which is on my IndusInd credit card, which was on HDFC before, but I changed it to IndusInd. So now every month I have a deduction of 89 rupees automatically from my IndusInd credit card. So that changes for me. The only thing that changes is, and even YouTube Music has sent me an email saying that, there's a new RBI rule, blah, blah, blah. October 1st, you'll have to authorize the transaction. That will happen. Just because this is a new technology, new way of doing things, every bank is sending you that email, which it says, or SMS as well, informing you in all the possible manners that the first transaction on October and in November might fail. First two transactions might fail, and you have to do manual payments. But it's okay. We are almost ready, and it might not actually fail. And some banks are showing complete readiness and saying, we are ready. When the new system goes live, nothing will change for the customers. We are ready with the new method, and we'll be able to process the transactions, the recurring transactions. So that's about it. It's just that if you have a debit or credit card with recurring transactions on them, then you don't have to worry, because the change will not impact you majorly. It's just that you have one more day before the transaction that you get a notification and you have to authorize the transaction. That's it. It's good that you know in advance that, tomorrow I have this deduction for whatever amount. That's it. And the banks are ready with it. Very rarely it might fail once, so you have to make a manual payment in that respect, but that's it. It's just for your security, for your safety. RBI is making good changes, and tokenization will be and it opens up a whole new level. I mean, there's also an event going on right now. So it was the 28th, 29th, and 30th, 3 days of event, which is some global fintech conference, something which is, I'm leaving a link to that here, and some information here as well, so you can look at that. So that's a global conference happening where all the stakeholders, which is from Amazon, Google, Amazon Pay, Google Pay, MI Pay, Xiaomi, anyone and everyone, in fintech, the neobanks, the banking people, everyone's having discussions, and it's all live. 28, 29, 30, 3 days. It's by NPCI, which is National Payment Commissions of India, who are responsible for UPI and RuPay cards. So there's a lot of development happening in Indian fintech sector. There's a lot of discussions going on, and we'll see some amazing new products, new services coming. We'll have more NFC payments, more tap to pay, on the go payments without. So it's great. I mean, all the innovation that's happening in India is good, and hopefully this securing and security part and safety part, the enhancements continue. That's it. So I hope this explainer video helped you understand what's changing, whether you have to worry or not. There's nothing that you have to do at your end. And that's about it. Thank you very much. And as always, I will keep updating you about new things. The new video about tokenization and NFC payment is coming very soon. Take care. Talk to you soon. Thank you for being here. And if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Also, very important, because this is a PSA, public service announcement, I would like if you can share it with your friends or family, and because they will all be aware of what's changing, and yeah, it would be helpful for them. So please feel free to share this video with whoever you want to, if they are not aware what's happening, what's changing. This should be a good explainer video for them. Thank you very much, and take care. Talk to you soon.